Today is Sunday.
The Lord's Day.
Yeah, and it's the day of rest. Did you go to church this morning?
I skipped church this morning.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a late night.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you had one of those.
Yeah, I did have one of those.
How late is the place open over there? You were playing pool.
Yeah, we played pool until about 11 or so, midnight.
Okay.
And then we went out to a bar afterwards.
I guess it was a Saturday night.
Yeah, and it was also, my logic was, today's our first day off in like 3 weeks.
That's true. Yeah, during Katowice, the off days aren't really off days. They're media and rehearsal.
We had media, rehearsal. Even on some of the broadcasting days, we did media in the same days as casting some games. So I've just been fried. And like in Katowice, I didn't leave the hotel or the studio. Like I didn't go anywhere in the city.
No, that's right.
So here I was like, I need to go out. I'm going fucking crazy.
I want to warn everybody the kettle is boiling. It'll be done in a second. We just thought we'd get things done. Okay, so that's not going to cause any issues.
No, it shouldn't.
No.
We've had worse issues on this podcast.
Yeah. Now, I see you've admired...
yeah, I should take a picture of this. I don't know where we're going to put it, but...
Well, probably on the Twitter or on the Discord. But there's just the two of us. Just the two of us.
Yeah, Yanko's unfortunately not here.
If we try.
And the player hotel is like 45 minutes away.
Yeah, plus I don't want any of them near me right now anyway. You've been the only one allowed into the quarantine zone. So some people have noticed that me and Alex sound a little bit more nasally on broadcast.
Yeah, yesterday sounded congested.
Yeah, when we first got here, like it was a long travel day. You and Dinko left early.
Yes.
Me and Alex left late.
Yeah.
So it's like 12 hours of travel for everybody, but we didn't get in until like midnight, and then I forgot about the 1 hour time difference.
Didn't your flight get delayed or something too?
Not by long. Like it was a little bit, but not by anything too crazy. And then I guess I picked something up in Katowice.
As usually happens.
But it just started like, because when I first got to Kato, you go from Malta where the sun's out 18 degrees every day, do a bit colder, and then you're inside the heat, and then the cold, and the heat, and then the cold. I came here, I'm like, I got a bit of a runny nose. And I said, yeah, me too. So we're like, okay, yeah, maybe it's just change of environment again. It happens. Yeah. And then it just progressively for me has gotten worse. I think Alex is doing better.
Alex is fine. I was just done.
Okay, so it's just me. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not to put you on an island all by yourself.
No, it's all right. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. Sometimes you just get sick. Like, Launders was pretty bad, right? Like, he
Yeah, Launders got wrecked for like 3 days.
Yeah, I don't think I'm anything like that. I just, it was like sniffles. Then it was like a bit more blocked. And then
I remember the first day here, you said you had like a runny nose, but you felt fine.
I still feel fine. Like, I don't have a headache. I don't have any bullshit like that.
Sure.
I just, like, the day before last, it was one of those really like quite phlegmy days, and then I felt like I was swallowing like a frog, like I had like a big lump in my throat, and then I don't know. I think I'm almost.
But the show must go on.
Well, yeah,
and we're professionals.
Well, the thing is, with the type of event that we're doing, right? It's not an arena event, so you're not competing with the crowd. So and also I'm not contrary to what the people on HLTV think, I'm not a hype guy. Like, I'm just a color commentator. I'm just there to add expert analysis and react in the moment sometimes. How's the sun, Jason? Is it in your eyes? Do you want me to close the blinds?
It's fine. It's all good.
Yeah, you have a very nice
glow. Do I look like a halo around
you
on
the camera right now.
Do I look tan at least?
I don't know. Well, no, but you're always quite brown. One second. Let me get the hot water.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I offer you a tea?
You know what? It can't hurt. With the situation I'm in,
You want one of these?
Yeah, just
yeah. Oh, I might have a tea bag.
Why not? I'll just do one of those. I don't really like tea anyways, so one of those would be great.
Right, well, hey. Thanks, Alex.
It'll like just preventative measures is what we're doing here.
Wash the cup. It's always a good idea in a hotel. I didn't wash mine, but I'll wash yours. You're a guest.
Welcome to the Talking Counter podcast. We probably could have done this ahead of time, but as you all know, we fly by the seat of our pants here on this show. It's a lovely day in Romania. I hope you're all enjoying your workout, your commute to work, your death matching. Maybe you're listening while playing another game. If you play League of Legends, some ARAMs, those are always good fun. I'm currently playing Batman Arkham Knight, which is a really fun thing on the Steam Deck.
The mug's dirty. I don't like it. I'm doing you a glass.
Okay. Yeah, I've been playing Batman. I'm just talking to... I've been playing Batman Arkham Knight. That game is the one from like 2015, 18, whatever the fuck it was. That game's sweet. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, and I just beat up Scarecrow, which is great. I love beating up Scarecrow. Scarecrow's my least favorite of all the Batman villains.
Scarecrow?
Yeah, like he's not that cool of a Batman villain, I feel. They do a really cool thing in this game where, like, So here's some spoilers. If you want to play the franchise, cool. Ooh, that is hot. If you want to play the franchise, close your ears right now. They do this really cool thing in this Batman game where, in the previous one, this is like the third in a series, you kill the Joker. I think that's how it ends. I never played it, but I'm gathering this from playing this one. But they have him as like this, like he's like almost like a. It's fine. I'll be good. They have him as like this little passenger in the story, as like your mental conscious. He just pops up and he's just like this character that you have to like, that just talks to you and makes fun of you.
Who, the Joker?
Yeah, and talks shit because he's dead, but he's also like the main villain in Batman generally. So he's just kind of like this little like voice in your head, and he's just popping up in the game randomly. It's pretty sweet. Anyways, I've just been having fun beating up thugs and shit.
You've been playing on the Steam Deck?
Yeah.
You haven't been using the computer?
We did play 10 Man the other night.
I can't believe it. As people might be able to see next to me, there is a monitor and a PC, which I unplugged as soon as we got here.
We were laughing. These are the same PCs from Krakow 2017 that Henry threw off the stage.
I want to, yeah. No, but I want to, like, I think it's a very nice gesture that PG will give us computers to be able to use, but I'm as much of a diva as the players, mate. I've got no chance of playing Counter-Strike on a 1070. Or a 1080 or whatever it is, right? Like at home, I'm up to a 4090 and the 7800 X3D. So I'm like, I don't want to do it. I'm sure it's a playable experience, and I'm sure there's our listeners who play on much worse. I'm sure there's some guy playing on some fucking dog shit laptop. It's about to take off, but I just can't do it to myself.
No, I get you. I haven't. Outside of that time, I haven't played. I haven't even deathmatched. I haven't like hopped on for any of the matchmaking games that they're doing. It's not bad. It's just like. You can feel it. You can feel it.
Yeah, and I don't want to compromise my gaming.
Yeah.
Because I've been playing a lot lately, and I've been enjoying it. So I just don't want to find myself.
I had a great time in Katowice playing. I was fragging every day.
Yeah, it was good. That was good fun. Yeah. There's been a lot of Counter-Strike. I think I played like 140 games of Face It this year already.
Yeah, you've been grinding.
It feels like a lot. Yeah. But I haven't been able to play recently, so I hope Aaron and Justin are still playing. I think Harry's playing with them.
Yeah, they're keeping up.
Yeah.
We played with Hugo, and you can tell Hugo's been playing with some pro players.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he was a little sharper than I recall.
Okay, in the past, he's been on the grind. That's nice to see.
Also, he was at home with his 4090, and he's got a little bit of an advantage.
That's the thing, right? Well, he had the issue recently, like his computer died at the start of the year, and we'd been telling him for ages to buy a new PC, and then it was one of those things where he was ordering it, but it was going to take months to come because of Christmas and New Year's and all that type of shit.
Sure.
So we eventually got it. So it's good, it's nice to be able to upgrade computer. We're quite privileged in that regard.
Yeah, fortunate.
Yeah, but look, where were we at? We came here not feeling well. Katowice, no time off. Oh yeah, Spirit won.
Spirit won.
Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah,
that was cool to see. Shiro is.
He was having a good time.
Yeah,
he shedding a happy tear as opposed to breaking down this match because of how agonizing it was.
The two different stages of Shiro crying.
Oh dear. Yeah. Look.
That was during the RMR, wasn't it, for Paris? When he broke down crying, right? Was that the last chance game against FaZe?
I don't remember exactly.
I don't remember either.
It could have been, but just seeing like a broken man mid-match of Counter-Strike.
Mid-match as well. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, well, look, it is an emotional game, Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever cried mid-game.
No, not mid-game.
Like, not tears of sadness. Maybe like tears of anger.
But that really like says it all about that lineup, right? It was just like, Shiro's just like, he just knew in that moment they weren't going to do it.
Yeah.
Like he just said, like the realization just hit like 4 or 5 rounds early. And you just can't do anything about it. And that was why it was kind of cool seeing him like have a teammate like Donk who delivered on the big stage, because that was always a struggle of Exile. And then obviously, I mean, I don't know. They actually stepped up.
It was one of these things that when it was happening in the group stage, I was like, is this really going to be the story? Is the story really going to be Spirit just the best team in the world now? Donk's the best player in the world, and they're just going to win Katowice?
It's only been one event, and I feel like I'm already tired of talking about Donk.
Yeah, me too.
Because like even like I don't know what to do. When we were casting some of the games on the stage as well, it was like Donk is killing everything, and it's like this is a big moment for Spirit and everyone on that team. But like you don't talk about anything other than Donk, because it's like he actually is just running around and deleting everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just like, I feel bad. I'm not saying Spirit, but I'm like, Donk has made the whatever it might be. Donk has made the grand finals.
And I guess that's okay, because like that's all the discourse was about, and the same conversation was had by the majority of the internet, right? Like people on Twitter, like all the pro players and everything, were like, oh my god, like this isn't, and no one knew what to say. Which, but I'm with you. It's like, well, where do we go from here? Yeah. And then there's all the questions about what happens next. Like, is Spirit going to be as good? I return to what we were talking about like last podcast, especially after the start of the RMRs. It's just Counter-Strike's in a really weak spot right now.
Yeah, it feels that way. And when you talk to players too, like it only exacerbates that feeling, because they all talk about how like inconsistent and uncomfortable they are with some things in CS2.
Which is interesting. Yeah. Like I understand the decision tree has changed a little bit because of the nades, and it's a new game in theory, right? Like
Yeah.
obviously it's gonna have a different feeling to it, but just some of the basic mistakes we're seeing. And if like when I was talking to Maniac about it, he was saying, well, it has to kind of be the pressure, which you could chalk it up to, but just some of the crazy choices of things I'm seeing, it's like I don't understand how anyone's getting to these conclusions at all.
I think the early peakers advantage really fucked with a lot of players pretty hard.
We think they all still in this, we just need to run a gun mentality.
When we were in Katowice, like doing those media days, like talking to like Kerrigan or talking to just talking to any random player that I was interviewing, and I would talk to them either live or before or after and ask about it. And they all kind of just said it just kind of changes your decision to where when you're in a situation, it's like the best option is to just swing. And I think that Peaker's advantage, and then now it being lessened, and then also like, you know, mentally having to make that switch, but also is it a placebo effect? I think that's kind of messing with how players handle certain situations.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I don't think when I play, and obviously I'm not on that level, but when I play, I don't notice that the Peaker's advantage is that much lessened.
Yeah.
Like I know in theory I'm supposed to be able to hold angles, so I try and hold angles more.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the thing. I think since that update, the game has felt better. Like I don't want to say like input lag or anything like that, but before it felt like there was a delay of some variety and things just felt a little bit more janky. But now like even spraying feels better. I obviously want to play more. I haven't really had the opportunity to do so since we've gotten here. But I think that obviously there's all the new rosters as well, which is another thing. But some of the decisions aren't like team-based decisions that are bad. They're like individual-based decisions that are quite poor. And maybe I'm being too harsh. But I don't know. It's kind of like when Dust 2 came back into the map pool and everybody forgot how to play Dust 2. And I was like, what?
Yeah,
like, how did we forget how to play Dust 2?
Yeah.
Like, is it really that out of sight, out of mind?
I wonder too if it's like I always forget like the RMRs are like such an important event, but like there is a wealth of teams that aren't as good as what we're used to casting at Katowice at Pro Leagues. Yeah, like, and I think that kind of when I look at it and I'm like, well, the Counter-Strike here has been kind of rough, and then I remember like actually like 2/3 of these teams are like tier 2, tier 3 that are trying to break up.
It'll get better for next week or tomorrow when we have Group E.
Group E stacked
in theory.
In
theory. But I don't know. I look at some of it and I'm still questioning. Like Falcons, for example, they lost to Amcal, right?
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, and that's where we go. Okay, well, so I don't want to like condemn other teams and then let them off the hook. That's not where I'm going with this at all. It's kind of an overarching scenario. Is it because these rosters are new that they're average? Like, have they just not have like, because we know it takes time, but there would be a certain level where I would expect like a team like Falcons to be better than they are. But then you look at a team like Eternal Fire, who haven't had the same level of roster changes in the recent history.
Yeah.
And their team Counter-Strike's on point, and their individuals are on point, and they look really good, which is kind of separating them and putting a big spotlight on them at the moment in World Counter-Strike, because people are like, yeah, these guys are looking fucking legit.
I guess the best way to, like, the best comparison would be to go back and look at Vitality when Magisk and Dupree and Zonic all joined, and, like, you had the same kind of thing where you took 3 players that had been on one team together in Astralis and brought them over, you know, coaching 2 players. I think, I have to imagine with Falcons, there's going to be, like, a certain level of, these are all established players who have an established play style, an established theory of how they like to play Counter-Strike, who have had success. You don't like to change that.
They know though, right?
But
like
you have to balance it, right?
But that's the thing. So I remember when we had this with like the French and the Danes, it was like, well, we can't just like take a little bit from this, a little bit from that. We have to work out how we are going to play Counter-Strike as a new team. But I think the thing with that team, and a lot of people are like, you see the comments about it, and it's like, oh, you know, like Boros, the scapegoat and stuff. I just think that there's just general resentment in that team towards him.
Yeah.
And maybe not for like anything necessarily in the server, but like outside the server stuff, right? Like, you know, and I think that's going to be a problem because if your teammates, you're the young guy, right?
I mean, I don't think it's going to be a problem much longer.
That's the thing. I kind of feel the same, but is that like unfair?
I mean, no, but also, yeah, a little bit, I guess. I mean, it's not unfair in the sense that, like, look, it's a professional competition, and if you're not cutting it, then you're going to get dropped. And Matt just said as much in the media days with Falcons and Katowice. It's just like, it could be anyone. It could be me. It could be Snappy. It could be Simpias. Anyone who's not performing has a chance of getting cut. But I think with Boros specifically, I think they've kind of done him dirty. You know, it reminds me of when I was in Liquid with Grim, where the same kind of concept of players having this, like, inexperienced guy on the team. So none of them want him to be like such in the core group. They don't want to like actually like play with him in the server because he's going to be making mistakes. They're going to have to deal with mistakes. So they put him in positions where like he shouldn't be playing because it's just one that's like off to the
Yeah.
side. But it also requires an incredible amount of game sense, and it requires
Yeah.
experience to understand when it's your turn to make a move. And I think Voros has just kind of gotten wrecked in that sense.
Yeah, so I think even regardless of the issues he may have outside of the server, which breed resentment within the team regardless, he's not really set up for success anyway.
No,
So-
it doesn't feel like it to me, at least when I watch them.
No, and that's the thing. Like, I think I referred to them as the team that everybody loves to hate, right? Like,
Yeah.
Obviously the Saudi
For many
Arabian
reasons,
yeah, right. So when you frame it that way and you look at people preying on their demise and then no, I'm not in the major, like, it's the biggest name of the group not to be there. Right,
Yeah.
with the name value, because the thing is, if anybody had any hope for teams like NIP and Fnatic can still qualify in the last chance qualify, but I don't think they will.
No.
But for people who think that those teams can qualify, they haven't been watching Counter-Strike.
No.
Like, it's just, what do you guys go? What are you basing your fucking decisions off these days? It's so ridiculous.
And just like the train wreck of NIP, like holy shit, everything at this event was just horrifyingly bad.
I see the people coming out and going, oh, the management shouldn't have released this thing saying this before the... Fuck them. Like, I don't care the management did that. This team was never going to do well anyway, regardless of management saying anything. Like, are we serious?
Like maybe it added a little bit uneasiness, but not anything that's gonna last when the game goes live.
I like the fact that they're all acknowledging that it got fucked up over the last bunch of years.
Yeah.
And they want to, and everyone maybe on the they're going to be competitive by 2025. No, the point is they will build a team in hopes to be competitive by 2025.
Yeah, establishing the roadmap.
It's just the way that gets taken out of context as well. I'm like, no, they're not keeping these same fucking clowns and having a team that's going to be competitive.
No, there's
by
gonna be
20.
changes.
Yeah, the whole thing will probably change.
That NIP MCall game on day one, I think took a year out of my life.
Yeah, that was a very bad game of Counter-Strike.
That was some of the ugliest. And I was trying to put my finger on it the whole time I was casting it. It was like I was like trying to figure out why exactly it felt so shit. I mean, it
It
was
looked like
shit.
nobody wanted to win.
It was like, yeah, and it was like Counter-Strike from like 4 years ago. It was like, let's not do anything on the map, and then let's just move up as a group and try and execute on.
There's been a lot of that though. There's been a lot
Yeah.
of people that executing in from darkness, like not taking standard map control and then just executing strategies. I'm like, this is how I used to play CS. Like,
Yeah.
this isn't modern Counter-Strike. Like,
No.
you don't just call the strategy and then just fucking execute.
And
Like,
when you're watching like G2 and FaZe play, like you can see the smart Counter-Strike where they
Yeah.
have like a 2 or 3 man unit take control of this part of the map, trade a kill, and then you can kind of read the game from there and figure out where to go and probe a little bit.
But I think that just obviously shows the discrepancy in level, which is also why I lean to like this whole weakness conversation. And I was looking at the American side of things the other day, and I'm like, we got to get 5 teams out of this region.
Yeah.
What the fuck? How are we gonna get 5 teams?
I know.
Give me Liquid, give me Complexity,
Yep.
give me MIBR.
I think Furia.
If I have to, I don't want to. I'll take him if you.
I just
if
don't know.
have
I
to
just
take
don't know
him.
who's gonna beat them in the Americas.
Hopefully, someone. Imperial.
I don't even know who's on Imperial, to be honest.
Yeah, the
with you.
roster's changed quite drastically, hasn't it? But yeah, MIBR. I hope they're a decent.
That'd be
shout.
cool, yeah.
Buy me a bit of MIBR.
It's weird. The Americas one is kind of like a bummer too, because like you have all these like second rate or second tier, not second. Well, I guess it's the same thing. Teams that have like been on the rise, and like it's like heartbreaking. Like M80, and then,
they have no Manx now.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then he just drops out for Katowice and the RMR,
Yeah.
which is like the 2 biggest fucking events that like those are like career making events. So
Yeah.
in my head, I'm just like, better be something serious. I'd be furious if I was one of his teammates.
Well, yeah, because the whole the thing is as well with the major circuit. I don't know if the rosters were already submitted. I assume they probably were, but like, there's no way out at that point. And no offense to Def, like people saw his fragging output.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't good.
No.
Like he might be able to play a lot of Counter-Strike in between, and try and turn it around.
But
he
you
can
can't
have a-
catch up to that much.
It's fucking difficult to catch up. that
Nouns
much.
as well has a stand-in, obviously.
Do they?
For the,
Oh fuck! So it's just like, oh man, yeah. You just look at that. There's so many different teams who are hamstrung here immediately, and it's rolled around really quick. Like as we said, Kato just ended, and now the major's just around the fucking corner. Like this is gonna end. What is it, like March?
April 1st is the major. Is when we leave the major.
Yeah, but
So March 31st.
The Americas ends March 4th or something, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's the week. The America's RMR is the week after we leave here.
Okay, because it goes Group B, LCQ, which
Yep.
is the 23rd and the 24th, and then I think it's like a day off, and then Asia
And then
starts. And then after that is
Oh yeah, Asia's first.
yeah,
Yeah.
Shanghai, but it'll be done from here. I don't know who's doing it. Me and Alex are out of here on the 23rd.
Blez doing it. Lucy and B-Dog are doing it.
Okay.
Dust is coming in for the Americas.
I think he's doing Asian as well.
Is he doing Asia as well?
Maybe I saw some of his tweets. Maybe I'm misremembering.
Mac, I think, is doing Asia.
Okay. Yeah, so they're bringing it, but people are coming to Romania to do it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
doing the same thing we're doing, just on different time zones.
Yeah.
Which is chill, right? Like, just walk up the road and you're in the office.
They have a great setup here.
Just take your shoes off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of a fun little angle.
Yeah, take your shoes off.
Yeah.
Or wear booties to make it look like you're in surgery.
Or a serial killer.
Yes. Yeah, that too.
Going a Dexter route there.
The thing is, if I'm a player, I'm 100% wearing the things. Because I'm going in and out for a cigarette all the time. Not me personally.
Right.
But they
Plenty of the players have.
Not all of them.
Yeah. Not everyone.
It's not everybody smokes, but some of them do. That's another thing as well that's kind of like not really spoken about.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, but we're adults and so are they. And it's like, well, some of them smoke, some of them do snus, some of them vape.
Got to give a shout out to Crims. I saw him throwing snus in during the game on the camera.
I saw one of the coaches coming with a pot as well. He was like, you charging them all up before the match. Here you go, boys. You know, it's like, fucking hell. You're just seeing them getting ready before they go. I think it was the Nine Pandas coach, maybe. I'm not sure. But, yeah, it does feel just soon, and obviously with how it's going to be towards the tail end of the year with the Shanghai Major, it's going to be much different with the placing of the event, which is good, and I'm really happy about that. It's just like we're in a regenerative, refreshing kind of state of Counter-Strike at the moment, and it's not. I don't think it's like changing of the guard in the same way as what we've had previously. I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
But I think that there's definitely there's definitely some players who might not have the motivation to get left behind.
Sure, and we kind of knew that going into this. It was the same with like 1.6 to CS:GO and Source to CS:GO. Is like you had so many people come in and then just say, "Nah,
not for me."
Yeah, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I don't feel the game's far off. I don't think it's there yet. I don't think it's far off. I think we're making good steps. Like, it's much better than it was a couple months ago.
Sure. I mean, I don't think you can be happy where or unhappy with where Counter-Strike is right now, where CS2 is. I think obviously most of the anger and most of the upset comments come from how long it's taken and how much at times it's felt like Valve have like missed opportunities to provide updates on a quick basis. But at the same time, it's like we all knew this is how Valve operates.
The thing that I thought was hilarious. So Hooksy, like, I think I spoke about his tweets on HLTV Confirm, like the live one that we did. Like, well, not the live one, but the one where Striker was in Katowice before I did it with you guys and Glaive came. And I spoke about like Hooksy made some tweets, and then he then did like a follow up saying like, "Am I crazy to think that they could find these better timing windows to do it?" And it's like, I didn't even have to reply because all of like the people on Twitter, the fans, just did it for me. They're like, "This is such an entitled take. Like, the Counter-Strike's not just for pro players. There's a huge like player base. And what are you expecting the Valve devs to work over Christmas to have updates ready for you?" It's like, come on, bro. Like, we know that. Here is Counter-Strike, right? It is the sun, and we revolve around it. Right, it's not professional Counter-Strike. Here is the sun, and Counter-Strike revolves around.
And
that.
Valve has been always very clear that they don't necessarily plan around esports.
So the one I remember, I got an email, or it was some form of conversation I had with the devs at some point. This is a couple years ago now, and they're like, "Chad, we always hear you say that the majors are marketing for Counter-Strike. We don't want you to think of it that way. We want you to think of it that Counter-Strike players like watching the best Counter-Strike players in the world compete. So we put a tournament on to find out who the best Counter-Strike players are."
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. Now, if we are technical, I'm pretty sure that is marketing. It's called like fan service or something.
Sure.
but I know what they mean. Like, it's not direct marketing in the sense of like, we're just doing this for eyeballs. We're doing this because the people who enjoy playing our game want to see this, right?
Yeah.
They're not putting the tournament on, right, because it's like, oh, this is going to generate more players. They do it for the player base that's already there, and maybe it will generate more players. But I think the thing is, when we look at it from a viewing standpoint, we don't need more players for Counter-Strike to be popular. We need more viewers for Counter-Strike to be popular, right? Yep. So we have almost two completely different goals. Valve want more players because they want more people to be in their game and spending money, and we want more people watching because the viewership metric is how we get the returns on our sponsorship stuff. So we're looking at two completely different things, right? But yeah, I don't know. This is the thing. It's taken years of us going through this to get different perspectives. And I don't expect the players to have the same perspectives as we do now. And they probably think we're fucking idiots, and that's fine. I remember in the beginning when I used to talk to Valve about like P250s and stuff in early CSGO, and I was like, man, it's so like, fuck, like a P250 close range, one bullet to the head. I can't do anything. I got to glow. They're like, have you considered using utility to clear out the close corners? And I was like, yeah, but it's not Counter-Strike, man. And like, yeah, but what if you tried it? And they were just trying to like not give me strategical advice. They were just trying to make, so there's plenty of ways to skin a fucking cat, essentially, right? And over the years, you've seen a lot of those things evolve, which are basic standard things. And like, who are we to say what Counter-Strike is when they're the ones who fucking developed the game?
Well, and also, yeah, and also on that thread too is like back in the early days of CS:GO, because you have that mindset of this is not Counter-Strike, you don't respect the pistols as much. And then eventually, when people started to learn they had to fucking respect the pistols, like even those like little half-buy rounds are treated as gun rounds now.
Well, there's a reason we didn't respect the pistols back in the day, because it was either full eco or it was Deagles.
Yeah.
There was nothing else. You know, you didn't buy a compact, you didn't buy fucking dual Berettas, right?
Yep.
Like no one ever. That shit was a fucking meme.
Yeah.
No one ever bought any of that stuff.
Right.
It was full ecos, and people would do what we see people do on full ecos now on CT sides, like go build a tank.
Yep.
You know, that's how you do it in 1.6.
Build a tower, hide in a corner.
Let's all stack here and
Yeah.
hope that one guy walks around
Yeah.
the corner. We might get a kill. And it's like these days you bang on. Like I think Eternal Fire showed in Katowice just how good they were with the second round buys. Like,
Yeah.
just fucking but
Which is always an interesting debate too, because like especially with like all the economy conversation on MR12 is like seeing Eternal Fire like buy second round CT sides and teams buy second round CT sides. It feels, I don't know, it feels like logically it shouldn't be the right decision, but so many teams are doing it.
yeah, but the thing is, I guess it's map dependent. I don't know if I want to be going into first gun rounds where I have to take an MP9 or a FAMAS just so I can get enough nades. Right?
Yeah.
As opposed to some maps I can go with M4 because I don't need all the nades for the map control.
Right.
But winning that war in the beginning, if you can be proficient at them, and for me, it's just about in those rounds having a decision tree that works with the type of buy you have, or a certain amount of moves that are more optimal to get you kills. And then if you lose the rounds, then we just see them saving, and going again for it, which is understandable as well. But I don't think there's still a big conversation about the economy now at the moment. I don't want to get, if you want to get into it.
No, I don't
want to get into it. Because the game seems to play, from a viewer perspective, pretty fine. I don't have any issues with how it's playing from a viewer perspective.
No, me neither.
So
yeah, it's just more complaints from the professional angle.
I'd still like to see like the diffuse kit worth $200. Make that just a nice easy change.
Yeah,
nice, easy
bring it down. Just help the CT side
just
a little bit. Just
you know,
a little bit.
You know, maybe make the Molotov 500. So just shave a little bit off here or there, but nothing drastic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm okay with it. Yeah,
couple things.
Everything seems fine.
Yeah,
but I guess we're wrong.
we could be.
Yeah, we normally.
But
are.
I'm enjoying it, so I don't really care. So I'll be wrong.
No
I'll be
halftime
wrong in
breaks,
my enjoyment.
Jason.
I'm enjoying no halftime breaks.
How do you think the players are enjoying no halftime breaks?
I think the players love no halftime breaks.
Really?
Yeah.
What if you're losing?
Maybe not. I mean, the players historically have always complained about 2-minute halftime breaks. And then remember, I think it was someone, when ESL moved it to like 3 minutes at halftime breaks, they would have like a fucking heart attack.
Had a meltdown.
Yeah. So I would assume that all the players are enjoying no halftime breaks. But it might be a different vibe now because you used to have those 2 minutes to get the coach
With the
involved.
coach as well, yeah.
Can chat and get you prepared for the CT side. Now it's just like bang.
There's still a slight lull. I don't know if it's like 30 seconds or what it is because I do
it's
see the
extended a
coaches
little
might
bit.
come up a little bit, and we're doing a bit more filling in that time. But that is one of the changes that's there for sure.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else is. I don't know.
How are you liking have you noticed anything? How are you liking the Valve? I guess as we haven't really had an impact of it. I guess we'll see maybe when we get all the teams of the major, but the Valve ranking system playing out.
Yeah, we did the new seeding, right?
Yeah.
So for the way that the
But it's weird to think that a team could go. Well, it's just different.
Well,
from
going
what we're used
3-0
to.
and not being a legend team,
and
or
you could actually get placed lower because your ranking isn't high.
Yes, I have to. I want to wait and see how that turns out. I saw some stuff I thought was pretty funny the other day. Yeah.
Well, I thought wasn't your team that you played with in that streamer event last year?
Oh, we were
like
in the
ranked higher. You were ranked higher than like 9 pandas or something.
I think
shit.
at some point,
Yeah.
probably because of the prize money,
which is so mental, and that's the kind of shit that scares me.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course, and I think there's still a lot of work to be done there. This year, in my opinion, is working out the kinks. And like the other thing I think is pretty funny is people just assuming that there's like a solution which can just be come up with that's going to be perfect immediately. So we have to have a bit of trial and error. Let's wait and see what happens. Let's collect some data. Let's see how good or bad it is.
Every solution is like good here, you lose some things here.
Some
good
we didn't
here,
think
you
about.
lose some things here. Yeah.
But I saw like a tweet the other day. It was like comparing the teams that Eternal Fire had to beat and comparing the teams that Amcal had to beat. And one of the things was like every team Amcal beat didn't qualify. Pretty sure went Amcal 0-2.
No, they beat NIP on day one.
Okay, so they were in the 1-2 bracket.
Yeah.
Okay, so then they had to play 2 games that were elimination games.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Kind of makes sense.
Credit to him though. I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, they had to beat Falcons, and then they had to.
I think if anyone wants to make an argument like that, I think it's like Movistar, who had
Yeah.
like a really easy route,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
like, but every major cycle, there's like 2 or 3 teams that have this ridiculous.
I think Falcons being seed 16 for the event is kind of what threw off the way that the new seeding was meant to
Sure.
operate, because it was meant to be like 1 versus 9. So then by the end of it, the higher seeds are versing the low seeds if they're still in the tournament.
Yeah.
So then if like a team like Falcons was still going and there was a phase, I'm just speculating, maybe it would have been phase versus Falcons as the final game or so,
Yeah.
some shit. That I don't know exactly, obviously. I was hoping, well, not hoping. I kind of, a part of me was like, maybe we get Saw versus Movi as a 2-2 game, and they get to rip each other apart.
That would have been so heartbreaking.
Only one of Stododo and Just or Roman and
Yeah.
fucking Muterus
Would
can
have been
make
able to
it,
make
right?
it.
Yeah.
That would have been fucking intense.
Imagine
bro.
that. But then there's still the last chance qualifier. So on the last day, it was a little bit to see the teams devastated. There still were like 9 Pandas were, and I was saying the whole time like, this is your best. This is a 50-50.
Yeah,
you got 6 teams you got to deal. Well, 5 other teams you got to deal with in the last chance.
Yeah, and only one team goes through, and I would imagine we're gonna have a couple strong. Like that Group B has some strong teams in it that aren't gonna make it through in the regular go.
Yeah, there's a few like of the weaker variety, right? Like Ecstatic and Nexus. There's a few more in there, but yeah, for most of the field, it seems pretty strong.
Yeah.
So like naming that 8 strongest seems easy. Will those be the 8 that will go through? Well, we're about to find out.
It's funny how unbalanced the 2 groups feel, and
how they
I feel
ended
like
up as well. Yeah.
But I guess it's kind of partially because Spirit just popped up this year, like just kind of had this
Yeah.
meteor. Like I remember we casted Spirit and Donk and CAC like in November last year at these studios, and they were fine. Like Donk was good, but not what he did in Katowice. And Spirit was okay, but not what we saw in Katowice. So it's like that, like just that step up over the
so
holiday.
they still had Art Frost, right?
Oh yeah, they did still have Art
But
Frost,
still,
yeah.
like Shiro wasn't. Wow, I don't want to say he wasn't the difference maker. I'm sure he brings a lot of experience to the
But
team.
this is the problem with Donk and Spirit is like Donk was so good that he actually overshadowed Shiro having a really good event, Zontix having a really good event. Like that was like a team victory, but like Donk was just so individually good.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's interesting now to see if we back it up and we are in like the Spirit, Donk's playground of time.
I think we should just make a game show out of Donk. Like, what if every event we go to, we just introduce something new so we can just keep saying, can he do it under these conditions? Like, what if
Okay.
you make him play with like a brand new mouse? What if you make him play with a ball mouse? What if you make him play like, you know?
So we're hamstringing it.
Yeah, just give him like little handicaps and just every event is just, can he do it again?
Okay. All right.
Have you watched his any of his POVs at all?
Yeah, but I watched a demo with like Rain when on the media day when we were watching POVs, and we're just watching, and you know they had some nice rounds, but most of the time it's just doing the basics really well, just getting 2 kills.
He's maybe like the weirdest like pop off phenom in terms of contextualizing why he's so good. Because like Nico, you can target like his game sense and his aim are so strong, and you can see those 2 things working in tandem. Simple, obviously, just like sees the game in a different way and makes plays that nobody else would think was possible. Zaiwu just incredibly, you know, you have all these things. And with Donk, when we were watching him in Katowice and casting him, I would just like watch him, like he would just run a B ramp on Ancient with no utility and he would just kill 2 people.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, like I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Some nice shots there by Dom. Yeah, that's the thing. It's hard to boil it down to anything in particular, but if your entry fragger can deliver you 2 kills every time.
That's the other crazy thing. He's a fucking entry fragger.
Yeah. Yeah.
How long can he keep this shit up?
I don't know. Well, that's the thing. That's now where the buzz, like, because he's had such a great tournament and such a great debut, most people think it's really down from here, right?
Well, I mean, statistically, it can only be down. But
That's
even
what it
if,
feels like.
yeah, even you know, he's not going to put up that. What did he have at Kato? 1.6 or 1.7 rating. I think he tied Nico.
Fuck stats.
You're not doing that.
He was just killing everybody.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So like we're about to see again if he can, and this is with everyone saying there's more pressure at a RMR than there is at a major, right? Like, which it's a more important event in terms of, oh man, I tried to say the other day on air when Alex and I were casting I think maybe it was the 9 Pandas versus Amcal game. And I just brought up the reference point early because I've been tuning into like Own a Pixel stream when he's co-streaming it. I just like seeing what that crazy man's up to sometimes. And I'm tuning in and he's like, oh yeah, and it's for the stickers, like $500,000. I'm like, well, you can't say that for sure. Like, I don't think he's going to be like, we don't know exactly how much sticker money is going to be made at this one, but we don't, it's not a set amount of money. The amount
Right.
of money comes from the amount of stickers that the people at home buy.
Yeah.
And it is going to be the first CS2 major, which you'd assume would have some decent sales,
Well,
right?
I guess, and then we just had the last CS:GO major, which eclipsed all the other majors.
But
in
you
terms
have
of
to keep in
sales.
mind with that, they kept
They
that
kept it
open
going
for
for a
so
while.
long, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure that contributed to it as well. So to like put a set amount of money on it and say, oh, they're going to win this much money, they're going to win some good money for sure, right? I just think it's like it's a scary thing when you start to say, oh, they are going to win, right? When you're definitive about it.
Yeah.
So I used a personal anecdote, Jason.
Here we
I've
go.
played at some majors before. I've played it in 4 majors. The very first major that had signature stickers was one of the majors I played at. So I was like, yeah, like just, and while I was trying to elaborate on this point of saying, you know, it's like they are going to probably earn good money, but we don't know how much, da da da. Yeah, back when they came out, I only made 12 grand from signature stickers, right? I just wanted to, and then the next minute, the game ends and I open up HLTV to look at the stats and shit. And there's a thread, it's like SPUNJ Salty, and it's like, SPUNJ Salty that he only made 12 grand from. No, I'm just saying to kind of contextualize things.
No, Chad,
to
you're
give you a bit of
salty.
an understanding with a personal anecdote back from when and then there's people in there like, look, this guy's got main character syndrome and shit. I'm like,
This is why we can't have nice things.
I'm just talking about
I
my
know.
experience.
No, but like the internet just views everything through like that bitter lens, right? Like there's that like
I'm
bitter.
very happy for all these people getting
Yeah.
generational wealth from it. Like it's fantastic how much money these people are getting.
I'm
And
fucking salty.
hey, I would love to have made that much sticker money. It'd be fucking great. But I'm pretty happy with what I get to now. So,
Yeah.
you know, it could be worse.
Yeah, you always have. Yeah, I don't. People don't need to take it that seriously.
No.
That's just an audience just being way too
and
intense about it.
At the moment, I'm not taking like the internet's constant attacks on me as anything too serious because it's you know, sometimes I'm down in the dumps and sometimes I'm not so much.
We all are,
You
yeah.
know, at the moment,
Ups and
it's-
downs in life.
Yeah. Well, it is good when they talk about us like we're not real people.
Yeah, that's always fun. That's always fun.
Say, oh, okay, yeah. Well, now we are human beings with things going on, but
Yeah, we got shit going on in our lives.
yeah.
I was happy G2 played well.
Oh, to qualify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3-0. Nico had a pop
Oh,
off
yeah,
game.
yeah.
That was good to see them bounce back.
Look, I think if like Nico just like disappeared, that would be really.
It'd be so
He
sad.
just went out with a whimper. Like that would
Yeah.
be crazy. But that like my favorite thing about that team is just how good Monacy can be. But if Nico could just be Nico, which is great, that's what we
Yeah.
want. Like I would love to see like some Monacy versus Donk battles, some Monacy versus.
We could have it for years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And hopefully like Navi stops being as shit as they are. So that we could have some wonderful versus Monacy battles and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Because the next generation of kids, this is what I was hoping we would be able to do a bit of better job at. Something that I know when I was talking to people in the lead up to Cato that we need to do better of is build up like the
Younger
heroes
players.
of
The next generation.
as opposed to still having Olaf defusing in a Molotov and
Yeah.
like from fucking 10 years ago.
Yeah, put that one in the archives.
Like it's great,
Yeah.
it's really good, but like now we go into these games and we're like, oh, so where's the personality of all these players and stuff? Like we have to play a part in building those people and the plays.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't have. Maybe Wonderful never has a personality, right? Maybe he never says that boo to a goose, but he's fucking sick.
Yeah, he's fucking really good.
Yeah, so that's all we need to talk about.
Yeah,
So-
and that should be easy content to make too. Like you can just do like a fucking YouTube title like The Next Generation. Just throw like 3 or 4 of those youngsters in there and get it going.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is going to take care of itself as CS2 goes on. Like by the end of the year, I think all the focus is going to shift away. You know, the conversation around Nico still sticking around is
Well, he's 27 now.
yeah, he's
His
getting
birthday
there.
was just the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just the other day.
Yeah, I think it was when they qualified. Was his
Yeah,
birthday.
nice present.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, they probably had a fun night, I would
Yeah,
imagine.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean the old guard of superstars is the conversation around them will change as they're the old guard, and then the new guard will start taking over. For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
It'll just happen naturally.
Well, and that's I think for most of it, it's these. Well, I guess Simple's going to be the old guard when he comes back, right? Like he's. From
Bro, I
the old
don't know if I
generation.
want him to come back.
What do you mean?
Is that crazy to say?
What do you don't want Simple to come back? Headline.
I think he's gonna suck.
You can't say that.
I think he's gonna suck.
You can't say that, Jason. What are you basing that off?
Gut feeling.
Okay. Well,
No, but I think like remember like when you've hit like the heights of Simple, when you come back after a break, people want to see you hit those heights again.
sure.
And I don't think I think just realistically, I don't think he's going to hit that height again. I think players are too good now. I think he's not going to have the same. And remember, the work ethic of Simple back in the day when he was on his rise up was like mental. He'd be eliminated and playing face it the same fucking day
Sure.
in the prac room. I don't think you're going to have that anymore.
Okay. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt
Okay.
because so the war happened. He
Yeah.
was displaced, still competing all over the place.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, difficult to manage. We're on the road with him from time to time. We saw him in Katowice. He's looking happier and healthier, right? Big smile on his face.
Yeah.
right? Yeah, yeah. Now, but in terms of what's going to motivate him,
But the war's not over.
oh, I know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it is.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, when it's all happening and you're going
Sure.
from event to now, he's had a break. Now he's been able to, he's been able to kind of recenter himself. I think it's going to be completely predicated on the type of team he has. Like, if
Sure.
he can come back and have a team that he actually believes is like a winning team, then he'd be motivated as fuck. But if he has to go to some hodgepodge international thing being strapped around him, having to watch these guys, he's like, these are fucking noobs, man. Like, why would he get out of bed for that shit? I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah, and I guess that's the charm of simple, because like on one hand, my brain is like, I can't have a star player with that kind of an attitude, but that attitude is probably what made him amazing in the first place.
And this is the thing, after the major, I don't know what's going to happen, but in my mind, it's going to be another big seismic shift of teams. Like, I think a lot of the bigger name teams, or a few of them, the ones who aren't successful, are going to have 1 to 2 player type roster changes. So we could have another big shuffle again.
I hope teams start going younger. I don't want to see like veterans recycled. Like there's some good ones you can put in different teams, and there's some solid veterans, but
yeah, but how many people on the sideline at the moment who aren't in teams would we want to see back on teams?
I don't know.
Simple being
Simple.
one of them.
Yeah.
Right? So
I don't think we have too many guys on the sidelines now.
exactly.
Yeah.
But there are guys like, for example, if anybody from NIP is being picked up for anything that isn't a national project, why are they being picked up?
Yeah.
Right? Like what benefit do you see in any of those players? Like, I don't understand. Same as this Fnatic team. Like, but I guess
Fnatic team is fucking weird.
Fnatic did the opposite. They actually went younger.
Yeah, they did.
They got QB and they got Mattis, and I think
Mattis needs a new mouse pad.
well, maybe he likes it.
He needs a new mouse pad, man.
Okay, well, if he gets a new mouse pad and he sucks, Jason, that's on you. But he had some good moments. I think QB had some good moments.
Crim still had some good moments too. Crim still got some games.
30, isn't he?
Yeah, he's old.
Yeah, you just said you didn't want him go. You want him going younger.
Look, if you play like Crims, you can stick around.
Okay.
Crims is solid, man.
Yeah, I don't know. We are seeing. Wow, there's still going to be a lot of international teams that qualify.
Yeah,
it's not like a national team. Well, unless
dude, I think all like most of the regional projects from like the big regions. Like it's hard because like Eternal Fire is technically a regional team, but like
they're not a Counter-Strike powerhouse region.
Yeah, and like. You have one team there that gets to pick anyone they want. Like these teams that are like Sweden and French teams that are trying to like get the region back and jump started they're all ugly. Although I guess NIP isn't exactly doing that, but
well, to make the best French team, you need Apex and Zywoo.
Yeah,
and they're not going to stop being
no.
So there's no.
I mean, I think the time of regional teams is dead. I don't think we're going to see.
You don't think it'll ever return?
No.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah, it is sad. But it opens up the door for a World Cup of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, which is never going to happen.
Which is never going to happen.
It's never going to happen either. It's like unless the esports World Cup the Saudis do and they turn it into that.
They
no
won't
way.
do that.
No, because they want to use the brands.
Yeah.
Right. The best way to do it would be to make like ESWC or WCG rule. Well, WCG
and now ESWC's been bought out by the Saudis.
But they've only called it EWC, not ESWC.
Do they?
I don't
Esports
know.
World Cup. Okay. Yeah.
I
don't know. I haven't been tracking along that. I just know they bought the brand.
Yeah. Well, that they bought everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, someone had to do it. It was them. I guess. But yeah, I would love a World Cup every couple of years. And then I don't know how there'd be too many politics because I remember back in the day, somebody had to buy the license in your country to run the event. So in Australia, it was always a little bit contentious because you could technically have just bought the license and taken the spot.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
But ESWC rules were 3 out of 5 nationality based. WCG was 5 out of 5.
Yep. I like WCG more. Go all or nothing.
Yeah, I think so. And the thing is, then it opens this like fun experiment. The first team that like leaps off the page, but then I might limit it to be like if you are, for example, Eternal Fire, you can only use 3 out of those 5.
Yeah,
members.
3 from one team,
yes,
but 5 from the same country.
But imagine the first team that I would start building would be the Israeli team, and it's so easy.
Dude, the Israeli team would be nuts.
I wouldn't even have an AWPer.
You wouldn't need one.
No, exactly.
Someone on that team can secondary op. It's going to be a weekend offer.
Flamesy, Spinks, Nerds, Heavy God, and who are we forgetting? There's another one. Oh, Exertion. There you go. There's a team.
That'd be fucking bonkers.
Yeah, and they're just rifling or just running around.
Just running over you.
There's a team. Bang.
And role-wise, it actually probably still plays out pretty well.
Yeah, besides the AWPing situation, but whatever. If they really want an AWP, I think they can get like Shushan, which is like Flamesy's brother or something. Or Anakas. He's an AWPer as well. They can make it work. It's all good. They can do anything they want. It's not going to be too difficult. Oh, I haven't coughed in a while. That's nice.
Good for you.
Yeah, look at me.
Does it feel good?
I had a shower. Yeah, but fucking... Not really. I feel pretty miserable.
I took 2 showers this morning.
2 showers.
Yeah.
That late of a night.
I had a hangover. I was really doing all the tricks.
I haven't drunk. The only thing I've had to drink this year was at the award show.
Hey, you've been very healthy this year.
Um,
I should probably do that at some point.
well, I'm trying to turn my life around, but it's not really working.
Your life wasn't headed in a bad direction. We're surrounded by people whose lives are headed in worse directions than yours.
Oh, dude. Yeah, but floating my way down the river and like controlling the rudder are two different things, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Getting sick is for now. It's been a week. Wow.
Are you at the point yet where you're just like, will I ever be healthy again? Am I ever gonna feel normal again?
So I still go like on the treadmill and stuff to get like a light little bit of
try
exercise
and
in
sweat
because
some of
I'm
it
like
out.
I can't just sit. I've been spending 12 hours in bed a day because the schedule that we have is pretty light, right?
Yeah.
Like we do tomorrow I do 4 best of ones and that's it, and the day after that I do 2 best of ones and a best of 3.
Yeah.
And then after that I do 1 best of 3 and a best of 3. It's like a mega light schedule. So if anything, I'm working max 5 to 6 hours a day, right?
And depending on the games, like fucking Henry and Anders showed up to do 4 best of ones and got 2 13-1s. Those games are like 20 minutes long,
right.
and then you're like, oh, see ya.
Yes, yeah. You can blitz through them. I think the thing is obviously with the B stream, you got to do a bit more like desk work and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
You know, it's a nice change of pace. The only thing is there's no cough button up there.
Yeah, you're away from all the boxes.
Yeah,
There's no talkback either. So if you're ever like, how long is this going to take?
Just look at the timer on the screen. No, but I think I don't mind it. I think it's good to have something a little bit different like that. Keeps you on your toes a bit.
Yeah, it's nice. It forces you to like look into a few teams that you don't normally see as well. Like I know, like when I was going up and doing, I don't know, like 3D Max and whoever, 9 Pandas as well. It's like, okay, I gotta kind of look at these guys a little bit before I get started.
Yeah, like the thing with those names have all been around just in different iterations of teams and rosters and everything. And there's some cool overlaps as well from people who went to international teams going up against their like old teammates in other teams too, which is kind of fun.
It's fun. It's funny seeing Seized again.
Yeah.
That's
And
been
then you look
unique.
into the last time he was at a major, which he was at Flipside.
Boston, and he was playing with
2018.
shitbags.
Yeah, like Waylander and Blade.
Yeah, Blade was playing.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. But that was 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was his 12th major, and before that he had played 11 with Navi.
He's another one of those players. Remember, like in like late 2015, at Cluj-Napoca was like a little breakout major for him. Like, he played really well at that major. He was kind of like the supportive, lost in like all the star power on that team, and popped up. C's had like a little decent time in the sun for a couple of years there, and he's one of those players too that just like disappeared.
Yeah.
Like Snacks did the same thing. Snacks was just gone one day.
And now he's back.
Bialy was gone one day. He's not back. I wonder what Bialy's up to.
He plays, like, they all play in these, like, Polish weird mixes and stuff every now and again. That's what Snacks was doing, too, for a while.
Yeah.
But I guess the other thing is the hunger to compete. You want to make sure that, like, that fire is raging
it has
and
to be
burning.
there.
Because otherwise, then, like, you may as well just play for fun. You may as well just, like, enjoy yourself and just do it on the side because you can. But then when it becomes something that you want to try and achieve again, then, like...
I don't understand that shit though. Like, having been a competitive Counter-Strike player, like, it's still one game that I cannot play for fun.
Yeah,
like, when I log into like a FACEA game, every game is like trying, and like I don't have the skills and the ability, and I don't know all the nades like you used to be able to, but like you're still fucking really hungry for that win.
Yeah, I don't want to lose. I'm not spending 45 minutes of my life to fucking lose.
I don't have fun losing a game where everyone's having like telling jokes and laughing, and I'm just like, why am I here?
Yeah,
I don't want to
go
play this fucking game.
dog shit matchmaking or something. Like, as soon as I see someone do something stupid, like go for a knife or something, I'm like, what are you fucking doing, cunt? We're not here to mess about.
I know. I better not see that fucking knife ever again.
So what are you doing, man? Like, get the kill, guarantee the round. Let's make sure we have it's fucking all about the elo. That's what I have. You know, it's hard. You know, when I'm dating people and like, oh, you want to play some Counter? I'm like, we can play Wingman. I'm not playing. I'm not playing any former. You don't want to see that side of me.
I started playing matchmaking with my wife.
Okay.
That happened towards the end of last year. I gave her my old PC when I got my new one.
Okay, all right.
And she wanted to play because she used to compete. She's won a couple of championships in women's tournaments back in like 2007. We watched some of her championship games. It was
Okay,
fun.
nice.
But yeah, that was a moment.
Well, yeah, but it's.
She's like, can we play Premier? It was like right when like Premier was like the big thing to be playing and get your rank. And I was like, we can play competitive.
Yeah.
And
Let's just go play.
But like competitive games are so shit. And then she was like, I really want to play Premier. And I'm just like, oh fuck, fine.
Yep.
Then I started playing Face It, so I no longer care about Premier, and we're all good.
Yeah, well, that's it. But the Face It experience is a fun experience.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Actually, it
I don't
depends.
5-stack.
You don't 5-stack?
No.
I can only.
It's
5-stack.
usually me and Scrawny and then 3 randoms.
How can you not find more people?
It's just the people we play with are just like everyone's schedule is just different, you know.
Yeah, okay. Good
Because
excuse.
I usually play during the day when we have like a babysitter there, where naps are going on. Like in the
A
evening,
babysitter. Things are going well, Jason.
yeah. Yeah, we have someone come for like 4 hours a day to like help because Jane works from home too.
Is this the longest you've been away?
Yeah. Maybe tied.
Okay, with like Pro League or something.
Yeah. 4 weeks it's long though. Like I can feel it now.
Yeah.
3 weeks is like my target max.
4 weeks used to just be normal.
Yep.
6 weeks would be normal. Then
Yeah.
you'd go home for a week and then you go somewhere else.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember
4 weeks is hard now.
one of the first events I did was like I did Pro League in Germany in the old office, I think with you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no, that would have been the next season when you were there. But it was the season before. I think I was like on the desk with like Yanko, and I think Mitch was there with Pansy.
Right.
And then Matt and Henry were the other
Mitch was giving out yellow cards.
That was the next season as well. You were desk hosting that
I was
one.
desk hosting.
Yeah.
Finals were in Dallas. Dallas.
But late 2016, one of the first events I went to was like a DreamHack Bucharest as like desk talent.
Mm-hmm.
So it was here actually. And that's where Henry and Matt had like Mars bars or something thrown at them.
Yeah, throwing Snickers at him in the crowd.
I'm laughing, but people shouldn't be throwing chocolate bars at guys
I think
while
I
they're
think
doing
I
their
remember
job.
Henry got pissed like on the broadcast while he was casting. He's like,
Yeah.
"Can y'all stop throwing fucking Snickers bars
He's
at
getting
me?"
assaulted while doing his job. Come on, man.
And then they started. Then they started putting us. That's when DreamHack brought the soundproof booths in for the
Yeah,
casters. So they
They always felt like a fire hazard.
that
didn't they?
fucking sucked. I
Yeah.
hated those things.
Yeah. And then from there, that point onwards, because that was the only time I had where it wasn't like crazy. I wasn't doing everything. And then from that point onwards, essentially, not everything. I didn't do like the majors in 2017 or 20. I didn't do the E-League major
majors.
2017 or the E-League major 2018, but I did Krakow and I did Face It. But outside of that, I was essentially doing everything that opened and shut.
Yeah.
Like it was when the 2017, I literally didn't have a place of residence.
Yeah.
And I traveled from hotel to hotel, and then I would, if there was ever like a longer period of time, I'd go on a holiday.
Yeah. You just take a vacation.
Somewhere to like spend the extra time. I remember I would leave my extra suitcase at the ESL office. So
Yeah.
then whenever I went back through Cologne, which was pretty frequent usually,
Yeah.
I would go and I'd like change out.
Your
clothes.
home base was kind of Cologne, even though you didn't have like
Yes.
a place of residence.
Yeah, it's just because I knew people there.
Yeah.
You know, I could go there and I could go see Rush or whatever, and I was
Yeah.
a bit more familiar with that. But there was never any gaming or anything.
Yeah.
Like that was.
Yeah, those years were crazy.
Yeah,
We
up
never-
until 2019,
Yeah.
or up until 2020.
I think 2019 was the first time we got like ESL to provide us with PCs.
Wasn't
at
it
the
only because
hotel.
of the pandemic?
Maybe.
I don't know exactly.
No, 2019 had the shared conference room, I remember.
The shared conference room. Well, for Cato.
Yeah.
Damn,
Down in the lobby of I forget the name of the hotel that we were at.
the one where I was in like a. Oh yeah.
The crappy hotel that we don't stay in anymore.
The crappy hotel that we don't stay in anymore. Yeah, okay. I still love the yellow and red carpets of the Vienna house.
Yeah,
It's iconic.
those rooms were small.
Yeah.
Those rooms were very small.
I do have to say, if anybody ever goes to Katowice, Poland for whatever reason, because I don't know, maybe you go there, maybe you've seen it, and you're like, I want to go there for holiday.
Dude,
go to the Vienna House Hotel to be a part of esports history.
It's so stupid how much we just take over that hotel like once a year. Like
Yeah.
Trace was behind the bar like slinging beers.
Really?
He was pouring beers because we showed up on a Friday night and they only had one bartender. And there was just like a line all the way down the hotel. So Trace was like, just hop back and started pouring beers for people and like charging them up. It's the funny. I turned around. I'm having a drink with OJ and Trace is just pouring fucking beers.
Fucking hell. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
helping out.
Trace is an institution.
Yeah, Trace is a character.
Yeah. He that makes sense for Trace, I
Yeah,
suppose. Yeah,
it
okay,
does.
all right. That would have been content. Get the cameras rolling, you know? Get him
You'd
to make
think,
some
yeah.
content. Yeah, we didn't
We're always
capitalize.
performing.
We didn't capitalize on that one there. Oh dear.
What's
Well,
exciting about this week?
the teams. What are we going to talk about? Oh, these guys are going to qualify and these guys aren't.
True.
You know, that's the thing. Anything happened in the news?
News. All right, let's see.
The thing is, if people want to hear predictions of what team is going to win, man, what we should just start. We
Not a-
should,
not a
we should
big-
take a fucking gambling sponsor, mate, and start doing like bits.
Yeah, we could. We should. Oh, SDY.
Oh, he's sick.
Yeah,
Maybe you got what I got.
illness.
Did he say what he had?
I have no idea.
I don't know what I have, by the way. He just said that he wasn't going to be attending.
That's crazy.
And is it Gizmy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a British lad. I think he was in Viperio.
Okay.
I think.
I mean, that's a blow. SDY is so important to Monty.
It's not good news, especially not with the RMR.
Like, you never want to lose a player, but I feel like losing SDY of all the players you could have lost.
But with how fucking bad they looked in Katowice.
True.
I'm not saying that's going to make them any better now. It's just like, it's like, well, they look fucking shit in Katowice.
Yeah,
I don't know if
did.
anyone was watching them play. But I just kind of, I don't want this just to be over with. Obviously, I want to like have all the competition and see it all happen and and you know, be along here for the ride. But at the same time, I kind of just want to get to the point where we change the rosters that are actually going to be rosters that might actually be good.
Yeah.
It's just at the moment, everything's fucking...
It's hard, isn't it?
Like, Cloud9. Do we have to talk about them not having an AWPer again? Yes, we do. I'm not going to do it.
I'm not going to do it.
No,
I don't care.
But someone is.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone's going to talk about it.
Yeah.
They're going to have to.
Dink will bring it up, and then I'll have to respond to it.
Yeah, so then we're like, well, you know, Boomage does it on overpass, and Perfecto picks it up on the T side.
Yeah, every once in a while. They throw it around, which has never worked in the history of Counter-Strike, but here we are. We're trying it one more time.
Yeah, and it's such a good team with a lot of good players, but they're hamstringing themselves by not picking up an AWPer, even though they're from Russia, where Russia has a shitload of good AWPers.
I do love the constant conversation of, like, is Cloud9 going to buy m0NESY out of G2?
He's not for sale.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. He might not be for sale.
Yeah, I mean, well, like, the argument is always, like, there's always an amount of money. But then we're venturing into, like, fantasy land where it's like, if someone offered you $7 million for m0NESY, you'd fucking sell him in a heartbeat. But no one's going to be doing that.
No, like, well, if we're talking realistic amounts of money.
But, like, I mean, if I'm G2, I'm saying the same thing. Actually, he's not for sale.
m0NESY should be their franchise player going
forward. Because, like, what if you lose m0NESY as G2, like, you're done.
Yeah,
that team's done. Like,
yeah.
Which feels weird with Nico on the team saying that. But, like, you can't get anything back from m0NESY that would make it worth it. Except for a fantasy amount of money.
Yeah. Or like Zywu.
Or Zywu.
Yeah.
But he's not going anywhere either.
No,
Vitality, he's actually not for sale.
I don't think they're making that trade. No, but that's the thing. Like G2 and m0NESY, that they should hold on to him. I think it's a great decision to make right there. But in terms of Cloud9, there are other options. Like I don't know who the best option would be. Man, like BetBoom looked terrible.
Yeah.
They don't look like a good Counter-Strike team.
No.
Take Zordy. He's all right.
Yeah.
This to be better than not having an AWPer.
I feel bad. I would like to see Nafany have some success.
The team just looks so fucking... It looks like they don't even have a fundamental understanding of how they want to play the game.
I feel like when I was amazed when I casted the Eternal Fire game that they lost yesterday for Eternal Fire.
I'm so glad Eternal Fire qualified.
I am too. I'm very happy for them. But Nafany is like, dude, he had a really good event in terms of opening kills, but he's taken so many. He takes like 40% of his team's opening duels. And I think that's Nafany probably feeling like he doesn't have the players who have the fucking guts to do it or the know-how to do it. And he just
doesn't trust them to do it.
Yeah, and he's just like really going out of his way and overextending to make it happen.
Yeah, but then that
fucks up the rest
really
of the team.
Yeah, right? And I think that's an issue. I think if you play like FaZe and you play like Karrigan and Rain to be disruptive and make sure you get into a 3v3 situation for your stars, that's different.
Yep.
But like, okay, so you put Siren, Zorty, and...
Yeah, if you don't trust your players to go for like opening kills, do you really trust them to like be able to play an intelligent mid-round 3v3 or 3v4 or whatever it might be?
Yeah, and then if you're just micromanaging from the grave anyway. So it's like, I don't know. I think BetBoom got a bit of overhype from their performance in Sydney. So did a lot of teams, actually, right? What did you think about FaZe being so gutted after their loss against Spirit in the final? Like Karrigan crying.
Oh, Karrigan crying?
Yeah.
I like it. From a spectator perspective, you love seeing those emotions and you love seeing it so much. I took from that Karrigan was really gutted more for Neo. I think that idea of winning Katowice for Neo in Poland was something that he was like really special chasing after.
Okay.
But I mean, I love seeing Karrigan 14, 15, 16 years into a professional Counter-Strike career still getting fucking wrecked when he loses a big game. I didn't take any deep meaning about it though. Like, you know,
they did get wrecked. People are like, does that mean Karrigan's gonna
I think
retire?
that's probably part of it too. Is like, it's one thing to lose.
Yeah.
It's one thing to get fucking deleted by a 17-year-old running around calling you cocksuckers.
Not be able to do anything at all. Like, you couldn't do anything.
I just love the fucking idea of Donk is just like a 17-year-old kid just calling everyone cocksuckers. It's so funny to me.
Yeah, look, we talked about this last time. People, I don't know if they love that discourse or not that we had. I think there was someone in one of the comments of one of the many podcasts I did that day was like, Sponge, I'm your age and I've been playing Counter-Strike as long and I think it's unacceptable. Like, okay, fine. You think it's unacceptable.
I think it's fucking hilarious.
I don't give a fuck that you think it's unacceptable. And this is the thing. It's like,
it's the gamer experience. It is like the stereotypical gamer experience. Is some little little teenager in his room running around calling grown men cocksuckers.
And everyone can have their own opinion on these type of things,
Yeah.
right? He's not fucking hurting anybody,
Yeah.
right? It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. There's so many soft cocks out there these days,
Yeah.
man. It's just fucking tough to deal with.
Well, like, what's worse is like him doing that, or like twists in that comms video that was released about their Mirage game in Katowice 2 years ago, where he said Jax is like the worst A player he's ever seen.
Yeah, but like, he was talking,
Yeah, you're talking smack in the middle of a game.
Yeah.
And like, you don't mean it. It's just shit that you're saying to hype yourself up, hype your teammates up, make everyone feel make a little bit more confident in the fight.
You've unleashed the spark in me that I was trying to dim. All of this really frustrates me. The fact that there's any form of like neutering of competitors and they should be fined, or how is this happening? How are they allowed to do this? I think like there was the stuff that goes on with all of these matches, and like people are going to be like saying stuff to their teammates about the enemy, or they're going to say shit after the game, or they're going to be talking shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are we policing here? Right? And why are we policing it? Like, and then I see fucking cunts, bro, coming out and like, oh, it's not like that in traditional sports. Fuck off.
Yeah, bro, like...
Fuck off.
Nah, mate.
Like,
there's a reason why you don't get fucking mic'd up segments of linemen in the NFL.
When I read that stuff, I'm like, it kind of tells me that you've never competed before at anything in your life. And then they go, oh, no, but I have. It's like, okay, fine. Well, then I guess you're just a better person than me. Because I talk shit all the time.
All the time.
I talk shit in the fucking pugs I play. And you know what? I have the other team muted. They can't fight. They can't talk back.
Yeah.
I'm typing whatever
It's an
the fuck
echo
I wanna
chamber,
type,
yeah.
Right? And for me, it's like, I think it's fun. Like, I'm not going out there saying anything mean to them or anything. Like, I'm not like any personal attacks or anything along those lines. But at the same time, with the competition that we have going on, why are we drawing lines? Why are we policing the way that these people act? Like, why is a community getting to decide that if this kid says this thing, that's bad? How about that kid said that thing, that's what he said? And then I can take a decision. I, as Chad Birchall, like that or don't like that. But I, as Chad Birchall, should have no say over whether he gets to say that or doesn't say that.
I don't think people understand where eventually, like, if you keep getting pissed about shit like that and being vocal and telling them they should be fined, like, there's two things that happen. One is the players are just going to shut down and just be emotional as bricks in a chair playing the game.
Well, they already are like that.
And then two, you're not going to get the fucking cool content that ESL just released of like all the internal comms. Teams and TOs will eventually just say, okay, we just won't make this content because nobody seems to like, my fundamental issue is where the thought of that even, like, I know it's just internet culture, right? Like after going back to Australia and going into the real world for a little while, like I've been awoken to the fact that not everybody is like soft and complaining about things all the time. Yeah.
Right. Like the internet is just the internet, and the people talking shit about me all the time. Like I said, they don't treat me as a real human being. I'm just something that they can talk about to fucking talk.
Yeah,
about.
it's like the parasocial relationship.
Yeah,
you're just a target for them to form an opinion and attack or celebrate in whatever way they want.
Other people can go out there and make these narratives about me, and they'll believe it, and then fucking continue it and stuff. But they don't even fucking know me, right?
Yeah.
Like, and that's just the way it is. Like that's what exists here. But I don't understand with like policing other people in that regard, and these people are doing something that you're not doing. You're just a spectator.
Yeah.
Like you're watching it for the enjoyment, and then people go, okay, yeah, but they're discussing it, and that's part of their entertainment. And then I was like, okay, fine, all right, that's fine. If they're getting entertainment out of talking about it, and then they're expressing their opinion on top of it, okay, that's it. But the way I see some of these people talking about it, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like they're looking for vindication on something that they're offended by on behalf of somebody else, which just sums up like
that is the weird thing.
I don't want to get started in like culture war shit, man. Like,
no, we don't go down that road.
There's too many fucking podcasts out there that I have to turn off because people just fucking talking about that shit all the time. But it leaks into everything. Like, and it's not just Counter-Strike. I know that as well. It's like probably all the forums for Formula One and MMA and football and everything. It's all the same.
I mean, I'm with you. I just don't like. Just on a basic level, I don't understand how you can be upset that someone talked trash during a competitive game.
Yeah.
It boggles my mind.
Well, maybe we could become Riot.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do League of Legends and Valorant.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Did you see Tarek's little dig?
I didn't. What did he do? He won an award, right?
He won like Streamer of the Year award.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
FPS Streamer of the Year award.
Yeah. Oh, was it?
I think so.
Okay.
But I didn't watch the video.
He got up and he just goes, I'd like to thank Riot for developing the best game of all time, Valorant, and just kidding, Counter-Strike for life, and just walked off. So yeah, a little
nice. All right. Doesn't stream much Counter-Strike.
That was a good way to give a little bit tribute to both games without really settling an allegiance, I feel.
Sure. Yeah. Well, he's not biting the hand that feeds him.
Right,
he's just making a little bit of a dig.
I don't know if he can bite the hands that feeds him. He's like,
he's bigger than
his stream is so fucking big when it comes to Valorant esports.
He's done one of those things.
Yeah, he's like in control of the fucking Valorant matrix now.
Great. Tarek, the guy who used to stream with no t-shirt on.
Peanut brain.
Major MVP.
I really like Tarek a lot. I'm fucking.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, I'm happy that he's had this success. It's
now
cool.
He's in that like streamer elite.
Yeah,
You know,
he's
he's
in the
out there
club
with like Hassan working out in his garage or some shit.
Yeah, he's got what's his name? 100 Thieves guy. Nate Shot.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
his pocket. Yeah. It must be nice.
Yeah.
That's the type of crew that you're rolling with. That's when you know that you've actually
You're good.
got real money.
You're done for life.
Yeah.
You're straight.
Yeah, we have like yeah, we can go out for a steak dinner and not really worry about the price of the money.
Yeah, I don't
they
have
we can book out the whole steak restaurant.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, which is slightly different.
Different scale.
Yeah. But maybe they don't love. No, they love what they do, don't they? Those fucking cunts.
I wish they just fucking hate it.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. I wonder what Yanko's doing.
Give him a call.
I'm sure he'd love that.
He's probably at home. He's probably chilling.
Yeah, he probably is.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He was pretty chill at Katowice as well.
Yeah?
Katowice, I think, and I don't mean this in a bad way, is probably the least social event we had as like a talent group that I can think of.
Well,
no one really
I'm
went out.
never a big bar guy.
Yeah, you're not.
I'm never really like I'll go out for meals.
Yeah.
I like that, but otherwise I'm not like yeah.
Yeah. But like everyone was like that. I think it's because we all had computers in a room and we're all obsessed with Counter-Strike right now.
Yeah, well, I was just waking up and playing Face with Aaron and Justin until I had to go in. I wake up, we'd play like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 pugs. They was like, what time's your call time? I'm like, oh yeah, I don't have to go until 6 today. And they're like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's go.
Queue up again,
And
baby.
I'm like, yeah, and we just keep playing. And then I go in and I come back and I go to sleep.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. Like, I'd get a bagel from the cafe place.
Yeah.
Caesar bagel. I'd go to the gym, get a cafe bagel, sit down, play Counter-Strike, shower.
That's what I didn't do on this trip is set a routine early. I was fucking lazy like the first 4 days. And then it's hard to like get a routine going.
Yeah. I tried to do that as soon as I got here, but then being ill really
being sick
fucked me up.
Yeah, it threw you off.
And it feels like an excuse. You feel so useless when you're sick.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, but I should be doing more. And it's like, no, but you feel like you're coughing and you're sneezing and you can't breathe properly.
If it makes you feel any better, I've been a useless sack of shit this week and I'm not even sick.
Yeah, it doesn't make me feel any better at all. Because I've been on such a good run. It makes me like kind of, I don't take a lot of precautions to not get sick. But I'm also like I'm not wearing a mask in public and stuff. Which if people want to do that, that's fine. And I know the Japanese were doing that for the longest period of time beforehand when they were sick and all that kind of stuff. I'm not like using hand sanitizer religiously, right? Like if it's available, I'll use it. But otherwise, I'm like
my hands feel grimy when I walk past.
it's germs, man. I dealt with that for fucking before the pandemic for 30 plus years, right?
Yeah.
So whatever. So I'm not really doing anything to really protect my health, but I've been pretty healthy in general.
I mean, you're working out, you're getting good sleep.
But that's the thing. That's
Not
why
drinking?
now that I'm sick, I'm like, fuck this. Like I was doing all the right things, and I still get sick anyway. It's like
That's just gonna happen.
That's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit.
Some of the players were sick this week too. I know.
So the Navi guys, right?
Yeah, Navi was feeling pretty ill. I think Emo was really sick.
At least he's at home.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Navi's peaked.
Okay.
I haven't really done anything.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
But I feel like this is the best that this Navi can get.
Yeah.
Like what's the key to unlocking Navi?
The best thing
Just
that
someone
you could hope
individually getting better.
For, well, you would want optimal output from all of their pieces, which I don't think we haven't seen that happen yet. We haven't seen optimal output from all of their pieces happen at once.
What do you think of remember when Navi picked up Ema after Paris? It was like, this is a huge gamble. He just popped off and had like a crazy MVP level event, and they're obviously rolling the dice. Would you say they lost that gamble?
Wow, they qualified the major again.
Yeah.
And the scene's
But
pretty...
it's nowhere close to the Ema in Paris.
No. Remind me, Perfecto and Electronic chose to leave, right?
Yeah.
Which is what triggered the change.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then they were left in a position where they had to make the best they could in a bad situation. So I would say off of...
Yeah, I guess you have to think back and think who else would have been available at the time.
I would say living up to the hype of like in contention for major champion kind of pickup of a player. No, like Emma himself hasn't lived up to that.
Yeah.
But in terms of the team that they put together and him functioning in it, he's having some better performances and getting better.
Yeah.
And they have the goal of qualifying for the major, and they did that again. So from that perspective, yes. But am I excited about Navi? No.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess it depends on how much they paid for him.
Sure.
Like if I had the figures in front of me, maybe
Yeah,
we get a balance sheet out. And we
yeah.
could say, if they won or if they lost.
Hey, Gamer Legion, hit us
Yeah,
up.
yeah. How
Show
much
us-
money did?
Show us the books.
Yeah, why not? Just share some of this information.
So I think it's interesting. I think that it's kind of telling that I think one of the most interesting stories about Navi, obviously Wonderful is there, but Alexi B as an in-game leader. See Duncan's tweet the other day. I don't always agree with Duncan's takes on everything, but and I don't always think they're this tweet in particular didn't necessarily feel like it was a fair comparison, but it makes you think, which I always appreciate with Duncan's tweets when he does something analytical, where he said Alexi B lost simple and then got better and qualified for the major. Could you say the same thing about if Apex lost Zaiwu? Is there another in-game leader who could lose their GOAT level star player? And I guess it would be Hooksy losing Nico or Apex losing Zaiwu.
I think
could those teams still compete and qualify for majors?
Yeah, I think the thing that interests me about the Alexi conversation is the beating of his old teams.
Yeah, does it though?
Well,
see, that one doesn't interest me.
No?
Well, because I think back to his old teams and I'm like, yeah, but his old team's OG.
G2?
Yeah, G2 is the only good one, but OG.
They're pretty good. They're a pretty good team.
But if you look at some of the teams he's been on, it's OG's always putting together fucking crazy cobblestone rosters of washed up / living on potential /
OG falls into my NIP fanatic category.
yeah. And NIP being another one of his old teams where it's great, you have
That's true.
a good record against NIP.
Yeah, okay, so G2's the only one of actually any real
merit
there.
So it's it's always a cool stat to look at and bring up on face value, but if you look into it deeper, you're kind of great.
Sure. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Well, that's the thing as well, then I guess I think... How old is Alexi? He's going to be 26, 25, 26. Something like that.
I was going to say 24.
Yeah, maybe. But
let's find out.
I think that he got thrust into this international in-game leadership quite early and not really by choice of his own because of the way that the whole Ent situation fell apart. And he's had a lot of experience with doing that so far. I think that he's a good in-game leader, if that's the conversation. But then if we're comparing that to other people, I suppose we would need comparisons where...
26.
Where the same thing would happen to a Hooksy or the same thing would happen to an Apex to... I'm not saying it's something interesting to postulate.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like to...
It's
I don't know, Jason. Counter-Strike at the moment, half the teams are fucking shit. Half the teams suck.
I know it's back to the early days of CS:GO when there were really 4 competitive teams, and then after that it was kind of
what am I talking about at the moment? It's
what do we have right now? Spirit, FaZe.
Even that, man. Vitality shut the betting category. So FaZe looking average. Spirit at the moment ahead, but then this RMR is going to happen, and it probably won't be. It'll probably be there'll be some matches that are close, or they'll lose, or whatever.
The internet's going to go crazy if Donk drops off.
But that's the thing. That if people are ready to be ravenous if he doesn't play as good as he did, that's stupid as fuck. Yeah. We should just acknowledge that he played well there, but now what happens, we're about to find out. A lot of people are excited about him, and understandably so, and he has kind of redefined the way we look at the game and what players can have as output, but it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to do it again. People just need to be a bit more realistic, but I guess me being like that is not as fun as having a...
No, it is fun,
projection.
hailing him as the next Messiah.
Yeah. That's
it's just crazy to think he's doing as an entry fragger, because that role has always been
brutal.
Always been inconsistent.
Yeah.
You just have some tournaments where it works and some games where it doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah, we're back to Donk. We can't escape him.
I know, it's inevitable.
We can't escape Donk.
It just came full circle. We started by saying we were annoyed of talking about him, and now here we are talking Donk.
Talking about Donk some more. Yeah. Well, we've been going for an hour and 12.
Okay.
That's,
that's not bad.
That's a decent amount of time.
Let me just
I'm surprised we're even doing an episode.
I kind of am too. Not going to lie to you. But we needed to,
Well, we didn't have to do anything.
We don't have to, but we should do.
I don't know. What's been going on lately? Let me have a... I don't know, man. Any good questions in the Discord?
That's a good question. There were some questions. I saw Yanko answered some this morning.
Yeah, there was someone asking in there about the working in esports, but I feel like we've spoken about that before.
Yeah, I was going to answer that. I can answer that in text. But we actually have another bunch of people who have all addressed that.
Address that question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We're just kind of in this. We're ramping into the major at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, we had new skins, right? And they changed the ARP scope.
Oh, the fisheye lens.
Yeah.
I haven't used it yet, so I don't really have a good opinion on it.
Doesn't bother me at all.
I don't really notice it.
The bob stuff is annoying, apparently.
I've never had any issue. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I play Counter-Strike, I don't notice the fucking bob.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not looking at my gun bouncing around.
I do like the fact I can turn the traces off now. That's something that they actually enabled.
Oh, you can?
Yeah. I think that was while we were in Cato they enabled that, so you can turn the traces, your own traces, not the enemy traces off.
You wouldn't want enemy tracers off.
Exactly right. Yeah. Free information. I'm trying to think like, obviously the Zeus.
Zeus being.
Yep.
I don't think the recharge is that useful.
Your chance of using it multiple times in a round would seem pretty slim. But if somebody does, it'd be pretty sick.
Yeah, it would. I mean, you'd have to do like a cheeky ROPS angle, get a kill, run away, and then set up a new one elsewhere.
Yeah.
That'll be funny though. The first time that happens, it'll be fucking sweet. Yeah.
And the fact that ROPS like used it to great success is, I think, why we see a lot of people buying it on like eco rounds and stuff now.
Yeah. How much is a Zeus?
200.
200?
Yeah, because he's dropping 2 pairs of Julies and buying a Zeus. So 600 on the pistols, and then
that's actually not bad.
Yeah. And he's always playing a position. Well, he made it work every time in Katowice.
Yeah.
So good out.
The Zeus angle does always feel a little bit ridiculous though. Like it's so like unreasonable to think you can just buy a $200 Zeus and take out like $4,500.
Yeah, but you don't get any money for it now.
Yeah, but it's still just worth for making them spend the cash.
If you can pick up a gun and get away, then I think it's pretty good. But I wonder if we're going to get anything, like, for me, I would imagine we don't get anything major in terms of, like, content before the major. But I'm hoping, like, this is pure outlandish speculation.
Sure.
I'm hoping after the major, we get, like, a new map in the map pool, something goes out.
I'd like that as well.
If you hate Vertigo, fine. If you hate Mirage, fine. Whatever you don't like. Yeah, and that's for you at home. You can pick. What do you hate the most? Goes out, and then a new map comes in of whatever. I don't know what the map's going to be, but a new map comes in. And then we get some new game modes. Obviously, we got gun game. Actually, what's it called?
Arms race.
Yeah, sorry to all the Zoomers out there who don't know what gun game is.
Gun game's a good throwback.
Yeah, and we get just some more content like that. One of the funniest tweets I saw in a while was somebody saying like, why do you need Valve to tell you to go get like 12 Nova kills or some shit in a game? Like you want extra homework or something like that. Which is true. I don't want any of that bullshit. But like what I would like is. Well, the in-game browser is a bit of a problem at the moment. People are unhappy with that, right? The community browser is getting a lot of flack.
I've never used it, I don't think.
Well, okay. You just go copy the IP for your deathmatch server, do you?
Yeah,
okay. I think there's just some stuff like that would be nice little tune-ups. I always enjoy doing when the operation comes out, sometimes they have some like puzzle-solving co-op missions you can do.
Sure.
And I always really enjoy doing that. Like, it doesn't add anything to my competitive experience. At all.
Yeah.
It's not 5v5, but me and Rush enjoy going
just
and doing it.
Just the sense of accomplishment. So you like the homework?
No, that's not. No, because they're like, you actually go through and you're like going against AI and you're like clearing levels, and it's not never difficult, but you have to boost this or press this button or press these buttons at the same time or whatever. And it's sometimes just a bit of fun.
I know some of the old operations always had those like, go get like, 10 auto sniper kills on this map. And I was just like, come on.
No, I don't want to do that.
This just feels painful now.
Yeah.
Or they tell you to win like 10 rounds on a map, which like we're on T side of this map, which would require you to play like 2 games on it. And you're just like, come on.
Yeah, it's like trying to get all the achievements in Counter-Strike as it is. Like, I'm not concerned about that type of stuff. But
it's not a completionist game.
Something that, because as far as games go, I like Counter-Strike more than any other game. And I understand that you can play 5v5 and you can go to this unit. But sometimes just having something a little bit different, is always a bit of fun.
Yeah, a good change up.
Yeah, it's a nice little bit of fun. And I think it should just be seen as that. It doesn't have to be anything too serious. Skins.
More
Jason,
skins.
We need more skins.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I think, who was it? Jackie was telling me the other day when he was casting, Oni Pixel was co-streaming the game he was casting, and he said on the broadcast, like he's got more skin in the game than Oni Pixel, which is not a bad line. A nice little throwaway in there.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And he got a bunch of like hate messages from Oni Pixel viewers who like didn't understand what he said and thought he was taking a shot at him.
What?
Yeah.
Fuck?
I just started laughing. It's so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, well, Oni Pixel gets a lot of viewers.
Yeah, he gets a
like
ton.
30K viewers or some shit while he's streaming those games. It's fucking insane.
A lot of the co-streamer viewership was huge this like RMR cycle, like the open qualifiers online.
Yeah. There was so many people doing it.
Yeah,
which I think was good. I did some. Maui was doing a lot.
Yeah, Maui's hitting like 20K once in a while.
Yeah, which is cool to see. Like I think it's good because obviously we don't get that. I hate how ESL fucking like with their closed qualifiers for like IEM.
Yeah, they have their own broadcast.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
but that says to me that they must have sold those viewership figures.
Yeah.
That's all that says.
Yeah, but I wonder if it's not...
It'd be in their better interest to say, okay,
Open it up to
we'll
co-streamers.
open it up. But if you are going to stream it, you have to run with these like sponsor graphic. You have to use our sponsor graphic on the thing or whatever, which some people won't be able to do because it will conflict with their personal sponsors. But for some people, they might be able to do it, and that'd be then ESL don't need to pay. Well, they're probably not paying those people a lot of money to stream those games anyway, are they?
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
They're not paying
They're
not much at all.
No. So
Paying exposure and a
but
little bit of cash.
it gets less viewership.
Yeah.
Because people don't care about watching it. Whereas if it was somebody like Owner Pixel doing it,
Well, so like games of that level, like it's like even as a caster, like if we were to go cast one of those games, we would try and make it a more fun experience than like a traditional cast and hype cast. You try and be a little bit more entertaining.
But
than
you see
usual.
that across the board with it though, right?
Yeah.
For like everybody has a different thing that is like mega serious for them. For those guys, it's like their springboard to showing that they can do like that, and that's probably the most hype level of Counter-Strike they'll get to cast. But like in terms of the tone and what the viewer's expecting, it's probably not what the viewer's looking for, which is just...
Which at the end of the day is probably what we should be catering some of those things towards, in theory.
Probably.
Yeah.
But, you know, Jason, when do we ever really think about the viewer?
True. Today when we decided to do a podcast.
Fuck. What's the time?
It is 6:30.
Are we going soon?
We got to leave. We got dinner at 7:30.
Okay.
So we should probably wrap this up.
All right. Am I going to bother putting this through AI?
Give it a listen.
All right, I'll play
I
back
think
to
the only thing that AI helps because this setup we're quiet in here, so
Yeah.
you don't need to take, but I think it just raises the level overall so people don't have to like crank their volume up on
All right.
fucking Bluetooth speakers.
We'll
But
see.
Doesn't matter either way.
Goodbye, everybody.
Peace.